Welcome to Disarranged 1775, your number one live talk show.
Yo, what up, friend? How we doing, buddy?
We're doing good, actually. I'm not going to complain.
Yeah,
doing a lot better than some people.
That's right. You look good.
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
I like your hat.
I know you don't like my hat, so I appreciate that. I appreciate that, but I know you dislike my hat.
It is
which I really don't understand why. It's really not that bad of a hat, and you kind of.
I think we just lost a viewer because they saw the hat. We had two, and now we have one. So.
And then there was.
Then there was one.
Well, if that's the least we have to worry about tonight, then I guess I think we're gonna be doing all right, pal.
Yes, sir.
Anything new in your world?
Not really. Same old, man. Work and my little girl, and that's it.
Nice.
And the dogs.
I feel like every week I'm always like, yeah. So I know work's been kicking your ass, and you're like, yeah, and then you just go into it. But I'm not going to do that this week, even though I know it is kicking your ass. Yeah,
I mean it is what it is, and finished off on a good note this week, so I'm happy with that. Looks set up for next week, so I'm going to try to keep work out of my mouth this weekend.
Very good. Well, you won't hear it from me anymore, my friend, but I appreciate you being here. We made it, episode 29.
It's amazing, right? I tell you, episode 29, and we have our biggest stuff yet to come. Some really exciting stuff. So it's going to get great, man. It's going to be awesome, and I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and really excited for the guests coming up. We've got a good lineup of people, but we're going to hop right into it. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're joining us now live, or you're joining us at the convenience of your own time somewhere else, we appreciate you. Welcome to Disarranged, your number one one-of-a-kind talk show, written, organized, and filmed and hosted by veterans, where we discuss veteran transitional issues known here as FRC, current events, the family perspective, and the pursuit of a well-balanced and fruitful life. Disarranged is a platform for both military and non-military individuals to connect in a safe, supportive environment. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I feel like when I get into that, I'm trying to get like super corny, like game show type thing.
You're doing a good job. So.
Oh, all right. You told me I'm corny. Well, you're doing a phenomenal job.
You're doing a great job. Keep it up. If that's what you're shooting for, go ahead.
All right. Well, listen, man. We're going to jump right into some current events. We've got an interesting segment on the latter part of this segment of the current events, which I'm very interested to get into. But I want you to break down a little bit more about this Marine sergeant that came home, Tyler Vargas. He did 18 months at Walter Reed Medical Center in Maryland.
Yes, he did. Yep. So Sergeant Vargas, I think it's Vargas-Andrews. I saw, so I want to correct that. Sergeant Tyler Vargas-Andrews. Yes. He was one of the Marines that was injured in the suicide bomb attack in Kabul back in August 2021.
Okay.
Since that time, since August of 2021, he has been at Walter Reed. So he had a great homecoming this past weekend with 4th of July. His town really showed up. I thought it was awesome. I saw the article. He had thousands of people there. Not only that, not just the people from the town, but he had the family members from some of the fallen Marines that were there, like Sergeant Nicole Gee. Her sister was there to support him. And I just thought it was awesome. His of course, his fellow Devil Dogs were there with him. And it's just a great story, man. Something light came out of something really dark. And he was quoted. So I thought this was awesome. It embodies, to me, a Marine. and I don't know if I could have put together a better quote. So they asked him about the experience. They asked him about how he felt about it. He said, "I am not the first person to get blown up. Those 13 weren't the first 13 to get killed. There have been hundreds and thousands. It's very easy for attention to be brought and support of the communities to be strong in the beginning, but it dies off very quickly. Those 13 families and friends of those 13, they're never going to forget this, and hopefully the rest of us won't." Yeah.
Wow. That's some intense words.
Yeah. I love how he deflected off of himself. He's a double amputee. So he has his right arm. It's not amputized. Is that the right word?
Amputees? He's a double amputee.
Yes. So he has his right arm and then his left leg are both
double amputee.
Amputated. Thank you. Here we go. So, I'm telling you, man, So, hey, listen, welcome home.
Push through, pal. Push through.
Yeah. Welcome home, Sergeant Vargas-Andrews, man.
Yes.
Semper Fi, Devil Dog. We're glad to have you home. Stay strong and Semper Fi.
Yeah, listen, like you said, it embodies the what a Marine is. It's, the mission accomplishment, but the mission isn't to never forget where we've started and where we came from, and the lives that have already been lost and affected. So for him to start it with saying, I'm not the first one to be blown up. These aren't the first 13. These aren't the first 13 to be killed.
Right.
You're right. It does embody what we are as Marines in terms of the overall picture, the history of the Marine Corps, where we come from, how the structure and everything. That's great. It's a wonderful quote.
Yeah, he understands that what's going on is bigger than him, right?
Yeah.
And this is what we talked about with the Memorial Day too. It's everything's great when the banners are out, and we appreciate the support and the love from communities and family. But we need to think about when those banners go away, when the cheering stops, when the free meals stop, all that stuff. These families are still left sitting there with that torment and that tragedy. And so definitely a good story that came out of that. So,
yeah. And I don't think we have to people don't have to consciously all the time have it on the forefront of their mind. I think it's just having the everyday respect to understand, when certain things, when you go to bitch about, certain things that you may take for granted. I think that's where it comes from. It doesn't, it doesn't have to be in the forefront of your mind every single day. It's not necessarily what the goal is or what we're asking, but to be able to show some and keep some level of appreciation throughout your day, just for little things. And I think that's just part of self-improvement. Being able to identify and be like, all right, put yourself in check a little bit. Hey, I maybe I don't need to react this way. And listen, I'm not saying I'm the worst at it, man. I've got some things.
Right.
I think that's where it starts.
Yeah. And I think that Memorial Day is the perfect observation for that, right? Like we both experienced a tragic event, and we have names that we honor every year,
Right.
And it's not that we have to talk about this kind of stuff every day. It's that every year we're going to say those names. We're going to remember, those fallen, and that's how we honor their legacy. That's how we remember them. So I think that's important.
Yeah, I agree. So obviously, definitely welcome home, Sergeant. I hope the rest of your time is spent well and happy. You definitely deserve it. Now, I want to hop into this next part of this was a curveball.
This is interesting. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
If anybody on here has watched any one of our shows, normally I'm the one that will throw a curveball, and you're like, yeah, you just kind of roll with it. And when you presented this one, I was like, dude, I cannot wait to see in our pre-show interview what you have in store. So we're gonna go into the next part where we have a survey that 10 things men and women look for in their partner.
That's right. So
please walk me through and our viewers through what led you to this survey here.
So as I'm looking at current events, man, I'll be totally honest with you. It's been a rough week. It's been a very hard week. My dog's drinking and I can't mute my mic, so let's be real. As I'm looking through current events, I'm like, I see so much deep stuff that just, you know what I mean? Like there's so much crap going on, man. It's like sometimes you need to switch it up, you know. Sometimes like I love the story about Sergeant Vargas, man. Bring a little light to it. And I saw this article that was based off of two different surveys. The male survey was done based off of a Forbes survey, and the female survey that was done was based off of it's called Brides magazine. So I think that's about
Brides. Yeah, that's
Brides.
a big one, I think.
Right. So this is 10-1. So least important to important. This is what men and women, we'll start with the men first, initially look for when they see a female, and then when they are dating them to court them and marry them. Yes.
So all right. So listen. So when I'll go. Let me do you do the men.
Okay.
And so you're gonna go from least to most, or are you gonna start from most to least?
No, because the first is the most important thing according to men. So you got to go 10-1. You got to go 10-1.
So you're gonna go 10-1. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead for men.
Okay. So at number 10, important things for men is ambition.
So the least favorite, the least important, excuse me.
Least important is ambition.
Wow.
Okay.
So for men, look, this is as a man looking for a woman.
This is what they surveyed men, and they said these are the top 10 qualities they're looking for. Top 10 things that are important to them, right? They jumble them all up. Here they are.
Unreal. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Yep. So we got 10. We got ambition. All right. That's number 10 on the list. Number 9 is the desire to have children.
Okay.
Number 8, and I'm going to call BS on this one, is good looks.
That surprises me. I figured that would have been right on the list, if you will.
Yes, because men are visual creatures, right? So we notice the smile, we notice the face, we notice the hair, the body, all that. That's the first thing. That's our initial thing. So I don't know. Kudos to the men that took the survey. Number 7, good health.
Wow. Guys are okay. All right.
Yeah. Number 6 is social ability. So someone who doesn't sit in the house all the time like I do. Someone who can get along with people. They can bring around, you bring your girlfriend around your friends and she doesn't act crazy and stuff like that. Here comes Bruno. Number 5 is pleasing disposition. Now, I want you to think about this one. I want you to think about this one because I think I know what pleasing disposition means.
I'm just going to say, are we talking about sex?
Oh, weirdo. What is wrong? No, pleasing disposition means that she's not freaking mean. She's got a pleasing disposition. It's her attitude. It's the way she presents herself. Yeah, pleasing disposition. She's not like constantly freaking attitude or something like that. Not to say not to say all women do that or anything like that, but that is important. I saw this on the list and I thought, okay, that's legit.
As I look at this and I see pleasing disposition, yes, my mind goes somewhere completely different. All right, hit me with number 4.
Jeez. Number 4 is intelligence. Okay, which I gotta be totally honest. If I was to guess in the survey, I probably would have flip-flopped intelligent or 4 and 8.
You would have.
No, Well, then I'm going to be honest. I would flip flop them. I mean, I want to. I mean, it's not. It would be nice to have an intelligent woman, right? But I mean, as long as she's not,
I got you.
Number 3, emotionally stable or mature.
I mean, I think that's positioned well.
Yes.
I think that's positioned well. That's top 5, top 3 for sure. Right. I think that's positioned well.
Right. Because you don't want the drama. Right.
No.
Right. Okay. Number 2 is dependable character.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
So I think for a man, and I would just say from my point of view, maybe what they mean is that woman has your back no matter what. You know what I mean?
Right. I think that's huge. It's trust, right? Like men, especially if they become vulnerable at any point with a woman, like that's the crack in the armor. So being able to uphold that trust with somebody is huge. So I think that's positioned well too. Then,
yeah, they got to know if a guy's working. Not to say there's females out there kicking ass. I'm saying if I'm thinking about, I need to know that she's solid as a rock, right? Right. I think that's what they meant by that. Okay.
Number 1, hit us with
Number 1 is a reciprocated love and affection.
That's deep.
So it's deep. So think about it. Like
that's deep.
So they want.
That's true. For me,
yeah.
I would say that's true. Out of
I never even thought this. Yeah. I mean, 100%. Yeah, they want to know that what they're putting out, they want to feel it back. And I think obviously both sexes want to feel that. And obviously if you're in a relationship, you do, but
right.
Very interesting and forward for them to come up with that. Cause I never would have put it on the list, but now that it's on there, it makes a lot of sense.
All right. Well, let's jump into women. Hit us one more time with the overlay for anybody that's just joining us. We are going over a survey, 10 things men and women look for in a partner. We just went through the top 10 from least to greatest thing for men. And now we're going to jump into women, which I automatically see the list right here. I see the list right here and I automatically think I call BS on the 10th. Number 10, the 10th thing.
I don't know. I don't think it's the 10th. It might be like the 6th. But
okay, well, let's get into that. So number 10 was good looks.
Okay.
So out of 10 things, that's the least that they look for in a partner.
I believe that it's less important to women than it is men. Okay. It's shocking to me and that they're both so close, that men and women are both basically saying looks don't matter.
Right. You're right. They're two away from each other on the scale. So I like that. Yeah, I think they both could be higher. I think they're both higher in reality.
I think, yeah, if people were honest, yes.
So we'll go number 9, relationship with family. I am going to have to disagree at this one at 9. I think, I don't know. What's your take on that?
Well, it explained a little bit in the article that the women like to see how you are with your mother, how you are around your family.
Right. So wouldn't you think that would be higher?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. But this is you got to remember, we're in a different.
Touche. What was was there an age? Was there an age range on the survey?
No, there wasn't an age range or yeah. So it could be. I mean, it's probably younger.
Right.
I would think.
Right. Number 8 is maturity. Yeah. Number 7, sense of humor.
Mm-hmm. I would have thought that.
I think that should be higher, but number 6, respect. No. Okay. Number 5, emotional availability.
Well, that That checks me out.
Did you read that one? Did you read that?
That eliminates me from that list. Probably the least emotionally available person on the planet. So
number 4 is compassion. Oh my God, that's all right. So I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the top 3 and it makes complete sense. This makes complete sense for me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna rifle them off. So top 3 for women, what they look for in a man. Coming in at number 3 is integrity. Number 2 is trustworthiness, and number 1 is confidence. That makes absolute sense.
Yes.
That makes absolute sense.
Right. And I kind of figured confidence was going to be there. There's nothing that turns off women more than a man that's not confident.
Touche. Yeah. So,
now
there's different levels of confidence amongst different types of.
Right. There's one thing about knowing who you are, being proud of who you are and okay with yourself and carrying yourself with confidence. And if you walk up to a woman and talk to them and they tell you to go kick rocks, you're like, okay, yeah, exactly. Or, you doing the looking around, you staring at her, it takes you for like 3 hours to go up and ask her for a number. Right. That's.
Was that you?
Come on, dude.
You were just a sly fox, weren't you?
I didn't go up. I waited.
You just let him fish in a barrel, huh? Just let him come to you. just knocking him down left and right, pal, or what?
Buddy, that ship has sailed in my life, pal. I don't want to get those. That closet's closed. I don't know.
God. Dude, he's alive.
No, but
sorry to interrupt you. We just had Donnie Gray on Instagram live here. Donnie, what's up, brother? We miss you.
What's going on, Donnie?
Dude, I hope you hear Matt. He said, "What's going on, brother?" Anyways, go ahead, brother. Sorry.
No, it's just I know if you talk to a woman, if you're sitting there and you have confidence and you're not oozing over somebody and you're okay with just being there with your friends or being there by yourself, they're going to be more drawn to you, right?
Yeah, it's the mysterious.
Right. Does he not think I'm pretty? Does he not?
Oh, dude, as soon as you get, and listen, if there's women out there listening that don't agree with this, come chirp at me. Dude, as soon as you show a woman that you might not be interested, game over, bro. She's blood in the water. Yeah. Dude, she's a shark. She's gonna get what she wants, right or wrong. Right or wrong.
I agree, and I think that goes to the confidence thing. I think it plays on the well, what's wrong with me? Why doesn't he want me? Type of thing. And
dude,
if you got a guy that's a really good guy and he tells a woman, "Listen, I'll always be here for you. I love you more than anything in this whole world. Do you need a back rub, baby? Do you want me to make you dinner, baby?" The woman's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you got a guy that's, yeah, I guess I'll call you in a couple weeks.
What, you want to go out to dinner? McDonald's?
Yeah. Yeah, you can make yourself a sandwich. I got some salami in the fridge.
Well, listen, pal, I think that we found a new thing. You need to throw some more surveys on there, but that's pretty cool. I like that. That was a good change of pace. So I think that's something we should definitely continue looking into, man. Good call. All right, let's tonight, dude, this is one of the things I really wanted to hop into and just kind of freestyle a little bit. But we're going to jump into what we're going to talk about with FRC. And if you're just joining us for the first time, FRC is a program focused on relieving the stressors veterans face while separating from active duty. And tonight, I really kind of want to just touch on structure. And we've touched on it in the past, and we've talked about how the military, between discipline and structure is really the backbone of all military branches. And it's such an environment that you thrive in because it's really done by the masses. right? Like everybody's doing it, everybody's participating. So once once you get out into the civilian world, some of us find it pretty difficult to be able to relate and start creating their own structure out here, because it's not done by the masses. Everybody's out here for themselves, right? So with not being able to find some structure tonight, I just wanted to touch on some personal things. Matt, I wanted to ask you a couple questions about what your experience is out here. Have you, I've got 4 years out of you, right?
Yeah, I got out in 2018. So
right. So have you found things? Have you found things that you're doing that kind of maybe you use as a crutch, or things that you see you might do too much of, not necessarily anything bad, but repeatedly, that might be suppressing some of your feelings?
Oh yeah, I mean, so we're talking about going from the most ultimate structured environment in the world, right? Which is the United States Marine Corps, to here you go, little birdie, fly away, right? Mm-hmm. I think we've talked about this before. You and I are the personalities, or the type of people that both strived in structure, right? Mm-hmm. I was always all over the place and kind of lost before the Marine Corps, right?
Right.
And then when I got in the Marine Corps, it's like, okay, this is what I've been missing, and then getting out, man, it's those same fears and insecurities were right there in my face, right? Even at 40 years old. So, right. I mean, I have a great job and family and all that stuff, but I still find myself at times, like you said, using things to escape, those feelings of insecurities and all that stuff.
Like we've talked before, where you said your therapist, like, same thing. Like, I listen to the same playlist every day, especially when I jump in the studio. It's literally the same songs over and over and over and over and over and over again.
I know you're getting at.
It's because it's safe.
Yes.
Right? I know what to expect. I know the next song. I can skip it if I want, because I know the next one too, and I know the next one.
Right.
I was sitting here earlier with my girlfriend when we were doing our little planning. I said, "Hey, I'm about to put on some music and jam for a couple of minutes," and I said, "I know it's going to be the same songs you hear over and over." I was like, "Does that?" And she was just like, "No, like, do your thing." But she acknowledged that she knows that I play the same songs over and over and over. So I bring that up, Matt, because there's something I kind of wanted to speak on tonight in terms of myself, in terms of crutches and suppressing feelings. It's been about 5 years ago, I kind of made the commitment to, use marijuana as a relief of a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Physical pain, mental pain, and the list can go on and on.
Emotional pain.
Emotional pain. So it's been 5 years, and this last, several months, I've really kind of just taken a step back and to analyze myself and what's going on. And with some health issues here and there, I've made the commitment to completely cut back on it. But with that being said, I realized how much of the things that I were doing to suppress feelings and just to move on, and like this numb sense to just get through my day. Man, it's crazy when you look at it after you come out of like the fog, right? It's been a little bit difficult, but with that without structure, like me being like, all right, dude, like I need to do something and like make it better. I kind of just brain farted there, but it's something it's brought out other feelings. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I've started to identify and look at like, man, like, damn, I'm pretty pissed off all the time, or I've got certain things that I haven't felt in years.
Right.
So that's what I kind of wanted to get out, and I know it was a long-winded way of saying it, but
Well, no, I appreciate you sharing that, and I think if we're all honest, I've talked about my bouts with alcohol, getting out of the Marine Corps, and I think about it, and I know this what you were getting at with the using things as crutches is when I talked about I have social anxiety. I have social anxiety because of the structure, so I feel safe with my system, right? Like I know I'm coming home from work, I'm letting the dogs out, I'm watching this, whatever, you know what I mean? When that gets messed up, I start to have anxiety. And that's why I loved the Marine Corps. I knew exactly what was going to happen, when and how and who and all that good stuff. So I have a hard time letting something in that's going to mess up that structure.
right.
Those are part of my insecurities and anxieties, and because I feel safe there. And part of that is I've talked about it before in the show. I replay The Office all day, every day. I mean, I've seen every episode probably 4 million times, but it makes me like, my therapist said that it makes me feel good because I know what's coming. I know what's happening, just like what you said. I know what's going to happen. Just same thing. I know what's going to happen at work for the most part. I know when I get home what's going to happen. It's when those unexpected things happen that it jars me around, and it's hard for people like me to thrive as a civilian. You have to do a lot of work on yourself. There's certain guys that get out, man, and it's like I said last week, they never miss a beat. They hit the ground running, and it didn't matter if they were in the Marine Corps or wherever they were. That's just, they're going to be great at what they do. And I'm not that person.
You're not wired that way, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like even just me trying to go into like that whole thing I just said, you just put me out. I just started getting a little anxious, being like, it's feeling the new emotions and understanding that they really haven't gone anywhere, and if anything, they've probably gotten worse. Is sobering, if you will.
Yeah, and you know what? We talked before the show about this, and I think it's amazing sometimes. Like when you get sober, right, or you stop smoking weed or drinking or doing whatever it is, and it's almost like you're outside looking in at yourself. You feel great.
Yeah,
you're performing better at work. Your relationship's never been better, right?
Right.
You're going to family function, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still something missing. And in your brain, it's telling you, well, if you just smoked real quick, it would enhance all these things, right?
Right.
If these things are that good, if I do this now, it enhances all those things. So it's a battle, man. And I commend you. It's hard. It's hard. In dealing with life on life's terms, it is not an easy thing at all.
Well, I was in survival mode, I think, and if I had to put something on it, and we all get that. It's not just me or you. Everybody gets into a survival mode where, like, all right, this is what's working.
Right.
Everyone's always like, once I get to that next step, once I get to the next step, may not be the best attitude to have about it, but I think I'd rather survive and figure it out, right? Dip and move, bob and weave, whatever you want to call it. I have felt a lot better. It was so ingrained into my everyday life for so long. If you would have told me a month ago I'd be where I was, I would have. Like we talked earlier, dude. Like I would have told you were crazy.
Yep.
But like we talked about the last couple of weeks, and surrounding yourself with good people, people that support you for who you are, and take time to at least understand something personal about you.
Yeah.
it's just it's a big part of if you will recovery out here, you know, because you kind of had to trust everybody next to you in the military, right?
Yeah, and I'll say this about the structure thing and struggling in it. What has helped me, what I found that helps me on a daily basis, is since I thrive in that environment, the night before I leave work, I take out a pad of paper, not a computer, not a phone, a pad of paper and a pen,
Okay.
and I write down everything that I need to do that next day. I mean, from making a phone call to sending an email to whatever it might be, I have my whole day laid out, and I go down one by one on that checklist and check them off. That makes me feel like I'm in that structured environment, right?
Okay.
Like, okay, I have my game plan here. I can go out and execute it. When I walk into work, I don't know what's going on. I feel lost. You know what I mean? And then I have 1,000 balls in the air and all that stuff. That's where I shut down.
Mm-hmm.
So I would advise if you're a service member and you're early getting out and you have the same struggles with structure, sit down, make a list of your priority things to do, right? Whether it's like, okay, number 1, VA appointments. Number 2, fix my resume. Number 3, stick to that list one by one, go down it, and that'll keep you on track.
And set obtainable goals too, right? Like if you're doing goal orientated or a task list, make sure it's obtainable, because it's also meant for these little lists to help you feel a sense of accomplishment as you start checking things off. So if you start picking things that that are not obtainable, you're going to start setting yourself up for failure, and the list isn't going to really do what it's supposed to be doing, right?
Well, I'm talking about a task list rather than a goal list. Goal lists are
task lists too. I mean, you can't put a huge task on a bunch of things around it and not be able to accomplish it, right? I think, me personally,
it's priorities. So right,
okay.
Like if you have something that, hey, today I'm working on this and that's it. This is the most important, right? You know what I mean? But you're absolutely correct. There's no better feeling at the end of the day when I look down at that list. I know I've called all my suppliers. I've sent all my emails. You know what I mean? As soon as I get something in my head, it goes on that list.
Mm-hmm.
And I scribble it down real quick. And then midway through the day, I'll make a new list.
Right.
You know, and it keeps me where I need to be. It keeps me centered, keeps me on task, and it keeps me from shutting down and feeling overwhelmed because I don't have that structured environment around me.
Yeah. It's that's well said. I think for me, there's a lot of other things too with the structure. There's so many other things that play a role in it, and I think for me, I think there's a lot of things aligning for me right now.
Yeah,
and I've identified it, and I'm like, all right, like buckle up. Things are changing for me, and instead of fighting, I'm kind of just leaning into it. But it hasn't come without hard work and just like persistence. Go ahead.
I love that you said lean into it, because that's I think is so important in life, man, is to lean into things, because you are going to get opposition around every corner in life.
Yeah.
Right? Every door that you open, there's usually opposition.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to lean into it. You got to lean into it, and you got to take it on and deal with it. I tell my daughter all the time, you cannot run from things. You have to face them.
Yeah.
Face them, tackle them, and run through them, and then you'll know in your mind that you can accomplish this. Got to lean into that stuff. If you don't, you're allowing yourself to settle, and those insecurities grow.
Again, yeah, and that goes right into the beginning of this and talking about leaning on other things in that mess, not having that structure,
right.
And falling into things and numbing yourself, and that's scary, especially when you're dealing with something like that. It's scary, but I think at the end of the day, it hurts less leaning into it than it does in the long run. The more things that are suppressed, for the longer time is only going to create a more pressure and a bigger bomb.
Yeah, I think that the hard thing for a lot of Marines getting out, or service members, is the finding the purpose, right? I mean, you go from
You hit that right on the head.
Finding the purpose. You go from literally pushing yourself physically, emotionally, mentally to your max, being one of the most elite warriors on this God-created earth, to getting out and just not knowing, like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go sit in a cubicle. You know, it's hard. It is hard. I mean, I can't emphasize it enough. It's hard.
Can you find that without having a difficult conversation with yourself?
I think that you need to find what your next step is, and lean into it just like you did in the Marine Corps, right? Use those same principles and just beat the hell out of that thing with the same mentality that you went after it while you were a Marine. You know what I mean? But I think embracing the fact, like we talked about here, embracing your time in the Marine Corps and then leaving it for what it is. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you're not a Marine, and you are a Marine, but you're not an active duty Marine anymore. This is who you are right now. You know what I mean? And you're going to go kick the shit out of this like you did that.
Mm-hmm.
And just appreciating what your service was for what it was. And you got to, you know, just separating those things. And it's hard. It's really hard.
That's well said. That was spot on. Accepting and looking back at your service for what it was and what you accomplished, and looking at it that it's just going to set you up to go kick another door down in life. That was well said. I'm not even going to follow up with that. That was perfectly said, and I appreciate that, because I'm sure there's somebody out there listening, especially right now, that needed that. It's hard, and time flies. You get stuck. You get stuck in that environment, man. I've been recently stuck in that up until a certain point where I started to look around and be like, all right, dude, like, here we are. You know, it's just happened 10 years for me.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, years will go by. You sit around and years will go by of just wasted time, man. Wasted time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That you could have used. And you're absolutely correct. And life doesn't stop for anybody. The sun will come up tomorrow, no matter how you're feeling. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just got to get the hell over it, tighten up your bootstraps, and get out there.
It's wasted time if you don't have that. If you don't spend those times with yourself, it's wasted time if you don't sit in the dark and stay off the phone and just be like, what in the heck am I doing? What do I need to do? What do I like? Right? Yeah. I think everything for me, and especially with you and I, the last year, is just, it's all kind of culminated to where the direction of this is going, and what's going to lie for the future for us and our viewers. It's going to be effing awesome. It's
yeah, I'm excited, man.
So, all right, brother, let's move into you got something else? I'm sorry.
No. I'll leave it at that. It's just, you know, those insecurities as far as, you know, I think like in the Marine Corps, the unknown is if I don't want to feel insecure about, if I want to be a good PTer, I go on PT. Like, you know, right. The task you know what I mean? If I want to be an expert rifle shooter, you know, I practice my rifle principles, and then, you know, I shoot well. If I want to do this, I do this. You know, if I, like, everything is laid out, you know, so that uncertainty is like, sometimes you just don't know how to get there. So yes, that time alone in those dark places and having honest conversations with yourself, and letting yourself know that sometimes, yeah, you get scared, dude. You get scared that you get scared that you're going to fail. You get scared that you're going to disappoint people when they look at you. You were a great Marine, and now look at him. You know, he's not shit out here. All that stuff's in your face. Mm-hmm. You know,
it's something that we all can. It's something you can push through. You have to. Awesome. Well said, brother. Listen, let's get into Reviews Out Loud, where we pick a city, a VA medical center, and read their Google reviews. Anything under 4.0 only gets a poor rating share. Anything above 4.0 will have a positive and a negative. What cities are we doing tonight? We're doing Chicago and Philly.
Chicago and Philly.
First off, I love Philadelphia, so whatever happens moving forward right now, I still let you guys know I love you. Philly, I can't wait to see you this year. But let's go with Chicago's coming in at a staggering 3.9, almost at the disarranged reviews out loud cutoff, but it didn't. So I'm going to keep this name anonymous. But this person says, I wish I could give them 0 stars, but the cafeteria area is horrible and the staff is extremely rude. I picked this review because they're bitching about the cafeteria. And I just don't think, I think that's not fair. If we're looking at the overall efforts and mission of the VA. Listen, if you get a shitty meal and it's bad, like, I'm sorry, move on. We're there. But to go on there and put well, if he could have, he would have put 0 stars for a horrible cafeteria.
Sandwiches. Yeah, I think in the grand scheme of things, when I'm looking at a hospital, the cafeteria is probably, hey, listen, it's down the priority list, but
yeah, it's number 10. It's number 10 on the survey list for me.
That's right. Yeah, definitely.
What do you got for Philly, brother?
Well, I pulled up Chicago. So yeah.
Very good. So I must have messed that up.
That's okay, pal. That's why we do this live.
Well,
let me
right.
let me pull up Philly.
I got one for Philly too. If
we'll go ahead and read it. Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Yeah, all right. So Philly's coming in at 3.4, which I could see that. This review reads terrible experience. Where do I begin? Not enough time or space. All I will say, if you value your health and professional care, steer clear of this facility. I mean, that says it all in itself. I just think overall, dude, like I'm going through it right now with the VA, and I know anybody that's a veteran listening to it has a horrible story about the VA. Here's the thing. This is the last thing I'm going to touch on it, and this is what I want to say. So if you got any VA healthcare listeners out there and you've made it to this far in the show, or you're just skipping around, please listen to this. I understand when you start your career, you want to help people, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go help America's heroes. Love it. Love the tenacity. Love the motivation. Love the drive and the will to serve who have served you. Now, since you've been there a few years and you feel salty and you just want to be a pile of dog shit and treat people like shit, get out of there. Get out of that environment.
You gotta shake it up.
Yeah, go somewhere else. You know, get your anger out of you. Right? It's not the environment to be in, because it's like ticking time bombs that walk in there. I happen to be one of them.
Yes, you are.
Right? So you come in the beginning, and then all of a sudden, where do you circle back to the VAs when you're, 30 years in and you're ready to retire, and you circle back thinking probably the same mentality, I'm going to go back and give. But you bring 30 years of shit with you, and then you just skate through the job because the leadership, and I have to blame the leadership, is garbage. So like if any, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep going, Matt. Hold on.
Trust me, I know.
If you just pattered interrupted me, shout out to my boss pal.
It worked.
You son of a bitch. I was going to. Okay, go ahead. I was going to. Damn it.
No, I agree with your point, but I do disagree in some sense. I think that the way I look at it is people, just like in any job, they start out that they care about. Let me put it that way. They start out with the intent to make a difference, right? And some places you're set up to fail. And in some of these systems, some of the VA systems, I told you, my VA healthcare hospital that I use, I've never had a bad experience. Everybody I've dealt with has been nice. So I can't speak to that, but I think over time it just wears these workers down, and they just stop caring, and it is what it is. So but I agree with you. There's probably service members that work there, and I know there's former service members that work there, and they bring a lot of it with them, and it's an imperfect system, to say the least.
You want to know what I found in my medicine bottle yesterday?
Oh boy. What?
5 unidentifiable pills, different colors, like a blood red.
It's like
not
Christmas.
Not like an arterial bleed blood, but like a maroon blood. No idea what they are. Not a clue. Pill dust all over them, like they're coated in dust.
I'm going to ask you a question. I don't want you to get mad.
Oh, Jesus. Go.
Are you sure that maybe in the midst of smoking Mary J,
No.
you put him in there? I don't know. It's just, it's an honest question. I want to.
Dude, I love how you.
Who the hell put these pills in my pill bottle? And one night you're like, oh yeah.
You want to know who else said that?
Who?
Courtney.
Oh yeah, I believe. Well, it was my first time. I'm like, this asshole probably put him in there himself.
Well, because I walk out to her and I'm like, look at this, and she's like, she did one of these. She did one of these, like, like. And I'm like, I look at her and I go, are you alluding to the fact that I put are you alluding that I might have put those in there? And she's like, well, I mean, and I'm like, don't even go there. I was like, don't even go there. And I'm like, I've never once seen those pills. Like, then I had to be like, I was like on the witness stand. I was like, I've never seen those. I have no idea what they are. I've never in my life even seen that color pill. Wow. I have no idea what it was.
Wow. Hey,
and so we tried, like, with any see. My mom just said it's true. It was on the phone. And I was like, what the hell is this?
I believe you. I'm not.
I know, but I appreciate your angle. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to ask. So
I respect it, bud. Anyways. Dude, it was yeah, dude, I appreciate you being here tonight, man. It was a good show. It's hard planning a show. Like, we go into this thinking the show is going to be one way, and it comes out completely different every single time. I just want everyone to know that it's it's our goal to continually get better, but it's also our goal to stay pure and honest to the foundation of the show and go through and try to be as vulnerable as we can. And when that happens, things get fucking derailed. Right. But I hope that everybody gets to see the message and the overall idea sometimes of what we're trying to do and provide the value that we do try to on a weekly basis. So before we do saved rounds, I just want to say thank you. It's still fun, and I'm just happy we are where we are.
Yeah, and like I said at the beginning of the show, we got some awesome stuff to come. We got some fantastic guests that we are so excited about, and it's going to be great. And we're going to continue to dig into this transition process, and I've said it many times. Andrew and I are in no way experts about this. This is something we're going through right now. we're just sharing it and
just trying to articulate it. That's all we're trying to do.
Right.
So we got something special coming up, huh? Well, we had something special the last 24 hours pop up, right, pal? We did. I want to throw out a happy birthday to my mother. Yeah. Wonderful mother, Lori. She's probably sleeping right now. She intends to watch, but then she sleeps, so she'll watch the next day. Awesome. So happy belated birthday. Your birthday was yesterday. Love you, Mom. Happy birthday, Mom. It's a pleasure having you part of the network whenever you watch us. But thanks for being born. Yeah. I'm not. I don't even go there. Anyways, Yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Matt, you got any other sage rounds, brother?
No, but hey, have a safe weekend, everybody. We love you, and thanks for all your comments. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, awesome. Take care, everybody, and we will see you guys next Friday. Thank you so much, everybody.
Welcome to Disarrange 1775, your #1 live talk show.